Linda Bailey has confessed that the next Liberation Front attack is imminent. She has directed us towards a weapon factory outside the city. District posts were dispatched to evacuate the area out. Once at the location, were informed by the private security agents employed by the factory that all the workers inside had already been evacuated. We have also been informed that the cybersecurity system of the factory had been breached, allowing for the special access needed to plant the explosive and force the lockdown while also restricting any other digital attempts to enter. This must be an effort from the Liberation Front to prevent us from interfering with the explosions, which means that explosives are already in place, set to detonate at any time. Our main priority is to enter the facility to defuse the explosives, but our experts estimate they will not be able to breach the lockdown without unrestricted digital access. As such, we have gathered together the only people who had the passwords required to initiate the lockdown and limit access rights. They are our primary suspects. Aaron King is the founder and majority shareholder of the parent company owning the facility. He's a known entrepreneur with multiple holdings and investment locally and nationally. His factory is one of the largest military arms producers in the state, with multiple lucrative state contracts. On the side, he also operates several military contracting companies, handling logistics and security in hostile foreign theaters of operation. As a founder and owner, he's one of the 3 people who had the passwords required to initiate the lockdown and restrict access. He has agreed to talk to us and assist us in our investigation. Steve Meridian is the chief of security of the factory and has been in contact with the authorities since their arrival on site. Our background check has found that he has been in the employment of Aaron King for over 6 years and has handled not just on-site security, also has been deployed in war zone areas to coordinate weapons transport security through compromised areas. He has no known criminal record, and his mandatory psychological checkups for his gun permit are clean. As chief of security, he had access to the passwords required to initiate the lockdown, as well as the means to set up the explosives undetected. He has agreed to talk with us, but has mentioned that he's under a non-disclosure agreement when it comes to the factory's production and clients. Boss, sorry about the typos. Tap is usually the one writing these. Well, Tap's file shows that they have been working for different law enforcement agencies since they got out of college. Before they were with us fighting against the Liberation Front, they worked for some other agency that locks up tax evaders, and before that, they worked at a national security agency, which essentially audits the security system of commercial agents that fall under national security law. Essentially, they made sure that these places respect all the protocols for secrecy and stuff, I guess. One of these audits happened to be exactly the factory that is going to blow up right now. TAP would have known the confidential security information at the time of the audit and could have theoretically used it to initiate the lockdown. The fact that the lockdown initiated within a similar time frame while we were obtaining Bailey's confessions might suggest an infiltrate Liberation Front member. We're going to bring them in. Let's talk to the TAP. No one. Mandatory required by the government. Okay. Find anything. Tons of high-grade explosive chemicals with stone secure reinforced containers. However, was this design? It should not be a problem. How do these security codes even work? Who has access to these codes? Factories owner, chief of security are the ones that have these codes on a permanent basis, besides the auditor. Is there any way to circumvent the security system? It was likely that it was completely circumvented using the access code Meridian King and I have, because there are no access locks. Someone created a backdoor. I think I'll ask this guy about it. I'll be Happy to be working with a professional. Blah blah blah. On your responsibility, chief of security, responsible for security system protocol. Well, this was close to you. Okay, seems that way, but does not help us in any way. There's a substance inside that we have to worry about in the cabin in case of an explosions. Our storage facilities are made to contain any possible chemical spill from cause up to and including airstrike. I won't worry about that. What are these access codes? How do they work? Do you think I'll just tell you that? The security system has been built with a backdoor from the start. Not from the start, but someone with the access code could have built one afterwards. Not that I know of, though. Who has the access codes? I cannot disclose that information. Are these codes the only way to access the mainframe? Absolutely. Just like your cars. Your car keys are the only intended way to get into the car. How well encrypted did you say these access codes are? Take a few hundred years. Okay. And so it's a function of military equipment currently on site. Always is. Any equipment missing? No, not to my knowledge. What the client usually, government among others. What types of weaponry are being produced? Electronics, firearms, ammunition. Let's switch to this guy. Good afternoon, Mr. King. What are your guiding principles? Strong foundation. Never leave a penny on the table. Always have an exit strategy. What do you mean by strong foundation? If you have enough initial capital, you can get the technology, the people, the contracts, and gain a large competitive edge. Isn't that how we got to corporations having their fingers on so many pies? Yes, exactly. It was a positive loop that concentrates whilst work as designed. What do you mean by never leaving a penny on the table? Financial opportunities, and I mean real opportunities are few and far between. If you catch the web right, like your life depends on it, my friend. What do you mean by an exit strategy? What if you need one? Allow yourself the financial flexibility to redirect capital towards more profitable long-term endeavors. What are the businesses you currently own and operate? What makes this factor is my main investment? There never was any need to diversify my portfolio. What makes this factory so profitable? I have no idea what you're talking about. You're lying, you fucking piece of shit, you're lying. What sort of weapon does it? You specialize in small arms manufacturing, blah blah blah. Who are your clients? Military equipment currently stored on site. There's several crates of equipment that I'm due for a shipment tomorrow. How many people are employed in the factory? There are actually around 100 people at shipment walk around the clock. I have some questions about your factory. Current situation. How do the security codes work? I'm not an expert. I know that's supposed to be some sort of strong password. How come the perimeter was empty? I honestly don't know the details, but I understand all the employees would evacuate before the lockdown. In case of an explosion, what sort of damage can we expect? I expect the sensitive machines inside will be damaged as well as the expensive military equipment stored there. The explosion itself should be quite contained. What is most important is for your assets to be rebuilt with minimal cost on your side. My friend, if the government can help with something, this should be it. I'm glad that at least there is a chance for an honest business to be rebuilt. Yes, insurance should also help. Insurance? Are there any dangerous explosive chemicals inside? Any explosive things inside, my friend. Nothing to worry about, though. Okay. Let's talk about the bridge. Let's go to the factory. So your factory is insured. That's it. Insurance to cover terrorist attacks? Absolutely. There's a whole insurance industry focused on weapon manufacturers or military contractors. Even if you get insurance money, I'm sure it's still hard to see something you've built up crumble like this. It's the way it is. We will rebuild. We will recover. We will prosper once more, I say. Well, you're aware that even if the bomb goes up, the factory is insured. My job is to prevent damage. I didn't want to know such thing. It's best not to let your subconscious relax. Let's talk about the bridge. We have no loss of access. Who implemented backdoor? I'm not intimately aware of the implementation process. Steve usually handle these things. King tells me you're the one who implemented the mainframe backdoor that was designed for him. What? I have no idea what you're talking about. This is the first time I hear about this. Mr. Meridian denies implementing the backdoor. As I said, I'm not intimately aware of the process. I'm sure you guys don't know install special access. It will completely alright. Well, yes. I've installed private backdoor. It's only natural. Oh. So you admit you have your own special backdoor access to the secure mainframe? Yes, my friend. For convenience sake, you see. Why did you keep this a secret from your security team? I never hear the end of it. They knew. It's my property. I have to do with it as I wish. Okay, you're fucked. Why did you confess that? You had the means to do this as well as the coverage of your insurance process. You did this. Admit it. Fine, stop pestering me. I did this and what's done is done. No matter what you choose to do to me, the world will see that the Liberation Front has shut. It has the ability to strike deeply at what was once seemed untouchable. A radical message that will finally tip the scales and set in the motion the shut up or the unstoppable force of social upheaval. Sacrifice must be made for the benefit of the new order, and the short-term lose are acceptable for. If you don't stop this now, you'll rot in jail for it. Help me and there will be a deal for you on the table. Fuck this ideology bullshit. That's your own property blowing up there that you put so much effort and heart into. Yes, well, short-term loss for long-term gains. It's a cost-benefit analysis that has only one answer. How long? What do you hope to do to accomplish with these explosions? That's the beauty of symbolism, my friend. It can mean anything. I think it's a protest against the government and it's practiced when dealing with the military. I don't know, King. The government might be buying but selling these weapons. I think the guild is split here. And what is there to be guilty of in a legal transparent exchange approved by politicians that the people wouldn't pull out through a fair democratic vote? Let's discuss your involvement with the Liberation Front. You really believe this will make people angry at the government? While with all the discussion it will cause, it will be the only logical conclusions. Lady Luck has says violence invites interpretation and judgment. You read Lady Luck. People are smart enough, they will interpret this correctly. How long have you been working with the Liberation Front? Well, my friend, who keeps track? Why target your own factory? It was the easiest target the front identified. It's just a short-term sacrifice I have to do. People. The utopia the Liberation Front is walking towards is a lie, and you have been fooled. People are easy to tear something down when they haven't built it themselves, aren't they? Alright, my friend, that's what I said. I wish there was another way. Symbolism, you say. King, you have to stop this explosion right now. I really don't see why it would do such a thing. The plan is set in motion. The front doesn't need this to push its message, King. Remember what Lady Luck would say. Even if you're right, there's no alternative now. It's either this or the front lose another member for nothing. What if there was another way, one that did not involve you having to tear down what you have worked so hard for? I'm listening. What would this other way be? God damn it, King. If that bomb blows up, I'll lose my job and I won't be able to help the front anymore. From my stand, you losing your job will only help the front. My orders come from Lady Luck herself, you fool. She has devised a grander plan, a safer one. That doesn't require these explosions. Holy shit. Oh my god, talking about deception. God damn, you managed to fool this guy. What? But you're part of the Liberation Front? What operation? What are you talking about? Yes, I'm part of the Liberation Front. I can prove it to Cole Benno Weiss. Tell him to leave his uncle's place right now. The police are about to grab him. They slam in their chairs, tears forming their eyes. Okay, believe I text Benno to get away. Get me to a computer with access to the internet and I'll shut down the bomb. Don't let us down. Report the findings. Interrogation successful. Factory secure. We're getting close to their leadership. One step closer. Oof. Good job in there. Before you get to the press release for this one though. The factory is covered by national security confidentiality rules. Would the press release in such a way that keeps obscure how dangerous things actually got? Oh god. In order to address public concern regarding the police, ensure transparency. Okay. Public regarding the police force deployment of several squad at the KW plan. Few officers. Several squads were releasing this public statement. Following an anonymous tip, force concerned employee comment procedure. Anonymous tip then. Force arrived at the scene in order to assess if security standards were in order. No. Investigate a potential theft. Escort a transport convoy. When they arrived at the scene, officers found the factory empty and Aaron King, the CEO, as well as Steve Meridian, chief of security, were contacted in order to clarify the situations. They explained that the factory was not operational that day as this case of miscommunication was quickly resolved, and the officers left the scene. We asked people to avoid any unfounded panic mongering and seek dialogue with authorities for any further clarification. Now let's note. It's been questioned with regards to an unrelated investigation. That should be enough to fool them. Hopefully. Hopefully. I don't know. Scholar of Statistics. Double agent. The Liberation Front has things right. They may not do things in the way they should, but they are right about how the world needs fixing. No kings, no destiny, strike back. Messiah complex. You are the cure for the plague that is the Liberation Front. This horseman of the apocalypse will be fell. You know what? I'm going to pick it. I don't know what it is, but I'm picking it. With Anton Drasko having ended up in the same facility as Fred Ennis, the latter has been targeted by a repeated attack instigated by the former. Ennis has offered us additional information in exchange for obtaining from the district attorney a transfer to a new facility. We've brought in another reporter for you to talk to. Miss Baker handled the technicalities in the last interview. This time, Miss Lisa Nguyen Hollis is looking to write more of a human interest story. I want to learn about the team that caught the twin bombers. Shall we? Very well, let's sit down, Miss Hollis. Shall we? First thing first, leading this investigation must have put great pressure on you. How have you been handling it? No one can be ready for something like this, so I'm adjusting and learning as we go. It's been hard, of course, but I have a great team backing me up. You have been the face of this operation, but there's a whole team behind you. Let's talk about them for a bit, of course. Jennifer is expert psychologist and criminal profiler. What does she bring to the table? Jennifer's insight into the criminal mind allows us to predict their movements and to better understand their objectives. It takes a specialist to comprehend the distorted way their mind works. This one. Mordecai Fisher, an officer with a long history of fighting organized crime. What's it about? Mordecai has experience with underground criminal organization and is crucial in follow-up on leads and getting results. Tab Thompson, analyst and technical expert. How are their skills valuable? This one. What sort of work dynamic do you have? Everyone getting along? After what we have been through together, I must say we're very close. We trust and respect each other. Oh, neat. You have had to work fast, jumping from crisis to crisis. What's your secret? I'm sure we're always well prepared. We only have one shot at this, no do-overs. When you know lives are on the line, what keeps you focused, sane? I try not to think about it too much. That sort of stress ruins you. What is your approach when talking to front members? With diligent questioning, they quickly start contradicting themselves. That is when I catch them. Have you ever found yourself agreeing with something a front member said? Sometimes, yes. It's part of my job to use the most persuasive approach. Many of those you put behind bars had regular lives before. Do you ever think about that? Yes, and it shows how insidious a front's propaganda can be. Last questions. Do you feel proud of what you have accomplished so far? Yes, we have done good work here. Okay, well that's it. Thanks for all of this then. I've been protecting you because you're clearly getting results. But push has come to show if there's an internal investigation running against you. They are currently reviewing documents, taking testimonies. Be ready to be interrogated before this internal investigation conclusions. The IAS are running, it seems they're set on burying you, so be careful. So if I try anything stupid like You know, interrogating those people using brute force, I get fucked. That's for sure. Boss, we're headed to Hennigan's coming. Sure. Go on ahead and I'll catch up with you there. Later that night. I don't know how many cases we'll have to deal with, but let's have fun while we can. Totally kiss Tab, marry Jen, kill the boss. Sorry, boss. Huh? Well, I'm not babysitting any resulting kids. I can tell you that. Boss turn, 3 of us kiss, marry, kill. I have to. Kiss Tab then. Oh, look at that guy's face. I'm Mary Jane. Seems like you should get the heck out of our kids. And unfortunately kill Morty, but only after we have taken out the front. Fun, said Jen. Have you told the boss to start with you in the dock in college? I don't know, so it goes like this. Second year of college in my dorm. Blah blah blah. Hey boss, before you head home. Wanted to talk to you out here, away from the others. How about the internal affairs investigation thing you need to deal with tomorrow? I know this whole guy, seen him operate before. Rumor is that he's a tough cookie. And look, I just want to know. Is there actually any dirt on you? Cut any corners? Did any nasties? Whole being here means there's smoke. How big the fire? I've really been doing my best to be by the book, Morty. It's all clean. I mean, I only messed up once in my first case, otherwise, every freaking single case, I have been following the book. I think this should be okay. But you know what, I'm going to say this one, because I actually fucked up once with the first case. I appreciate you being on the level with me on this at least. I know from your classified file about how you had some dirt on yourself from the distant past. The armed robbery thing. And how you still became a great cop after all of that. Hey, thanks, but I proved zero loyalty to those guys. Those guys were just as guilty as I was. One of them ended up super bad until the mad hat. So now, being good cop or not to that, what I did was just betrayal. Anyway, good luck with the whole. Good night. Refuse to speak with us anymore. Yeah. Your HR report is ready. Motivation level. Very low. Mordecai Fischer is in crisis, motivation, and confidence. Levels are minimal. Resignation is imminent. Man, I need to have them rest then. Detective, this is that's whole internal affairs. Ratings. If you're both ready, head in for questioning. I have my case file ready. We can go ahead. I look forward to hearing your conclusions after you're done, Mr. Hall. I'm sure you are Chief Anderson. I'm sure you